So what you are looking at is a standard copper aluminum radiator that you would find in an air conditioning unit. This one's a rather large one. This one came out of a central air unit. They also come out of standard wall units as well. And what I wanted to show you guys today was an easy way to increase the value of your copper scrap, because a lot of people don't get involved in cleaning the rod ends off. What they'll do is they'll just cut them off of the A coil. They'll just cut this off the A coil and then take them to the scrap yard like this, and they'll get cents on the pound rather than the price of number 2 copper, which is dollars per pound. So I want to show you a quick and easy way that I found on how to clean them, so that way you guys can increase the value of your scrap and make more money. So the only tools that you're going to need to do this successfully is going to be a screwdriver of some kind. I found that the larger the screwdriver, the better. A pair of channel locks, sawzall with metal blade, pair of safety gloves and safety glasses, and then you're going to need some way of securing the A coil to whatever surface you're working on. Some people use vices on workbenches. I have this work table that's kind of like a multi-use platform for me, and what I did was I took some 2x4s, clamped some screwed some 2x4s to the table, and then take big slide clamps, F welding clamps, and then just quickly clamp it to the table so I can work quickly and efficiently. So the process that we have to take is, it's really just a 2-step process. The first of which, you take your sawzall, and what you want to do is you want to cut between this tin steel and the aluminum rad, right straight down through here. And this is why having a fresh fine-tooth metal blade works the best, because what I found is it doesn't tear up the copper tube as much, which makes getting the copper tube out a lot easier. And the trick here is trying to find a happy medium with how much time it takes you to do it, and what the value of the copper is, and how valuable you feel your time is. I do this on the side. It is a weekend and I had a little bit of time, so I came out and started cleaning what copper rads I had. So for me, it's worth my time to do it for the payoff. So like I said, the first step is we're going to come in, cut down the tubes, which in turn makes it look like this. This is what the clean side looks like once you cut it off. I'm going to put the camera on a tripod, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this and transition into each step. And I think what I will do is I will put, at the very end of this video, I will put the entire clip in of how long it takes me to do it. So this way here you guys can see how long it takes me to do it. And then you can choose whether or not you want to stay around and watch the entire clip, or just see the steps that's involved in doing this process. So one thing I wanted to bring your attention to that didn't necessarily happen on this A coil is sometimes the plates that are in between the coil and copper have a 90-degree bend on them like this. And what you want to do is you want to come in here with channel locks and bend this bracket away from the coil, so that way you can get in between here with the sawzall blade. And that's another reason why you need channel locks. It's just simply a matter of pulling these away and running the sawzall blade down. Like I said, quick little note there, it didn't happen on this specific A coil, but depending on what units you have and where you find them, that is a relatively common thing. So I wanted to bring your attention to that. So once you get the tin end tubes cut off, this is what they look like, and this is why it's important to cut them with a clean, fine metal tooth blade. Is the cleaner that you cut these tubes, the easier it will be to get them out. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here with a pair of either channel locks and or a screwdriver and pry or pull these end tubes up and clean the tin, so we get a light iron price for the tin and a number 2 copper price for the copper. Some of these, depending on how well or how clean you cut them, which it doesn't look like it's going to work for me, but sometimes, and this one's really rusty, sometimes if you cut them cleanly enough in the smaller ones, you can actually just pull them out. But for this one, we're going to take a pliers or the screwdriver and clean it up, and we're done. So there's 2 ways that you can do this, one of which is you can take a screwdriver, and what you do is you run your screwdriver in and pry up. This one is a little bit difficult because of how much rust there is. Another method is you take a pair of channel locks and you grab them and pull. For this one, it's working a little bit better. This would be easier if there wasn't so much rust on it, but even still, it's not all that difficult. And this is where I say you have to find where it's worth it for you to do this. Some people would look at this and say there's no way that I'm doing that, but this is in real time that I'm doing this. I'm not speeding this footage up, and we're going to put it in just like this. So I'm not going to do any fancy editing tricks on this. We're going to do it right now, right here, right now. And as you can see, it's not all that difficult, even with the amount of rust that's on this end plate. Sometimes if the end plates don't have as much rust on them, they are a lot easier to do. So that took 1 minute and 35 seconds with me even doing the talking in the beginning. So now what you've done is you've made this into a piece of light iron, which is really only just cents on the pound, but the money comes in with number 2 copper. And again, it really depends on what you feel your time is worth. Some people, again, would look at it and be like, it's not worth my time. But if you get a lot of air conditioners and egg coils, this adds up quick. And the last time I went and scrapped number 2 copper, it was right around $1.90 a pound. So, you know, this is probably about a pound or so. And for the amount of time that it took me to get it, I feel is worth my time to do it. So that's a simple and easy method to clean your copper aluminum rad ends off of the tin. So that wraps up the actual segment of what it takes to clean the copper tubes out of the end rails on copper aluminum radiators. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in the full length clip of me cutting the ends off and pulling the copper out of the rad ends, so you can actually see in real time what it takes me to complete the process. If you guys don't want to stick around and watch the entire process, that's completely fine. I understand. But for those of you who are actually trying to figure out if it's going to be worth their time to do it or not, and what it takes me to do it, so that you can evaluate their time, it's a good way to understand what it's actually going to take for you guys to do it. Please take a look in the description below. I'm going to leave links to my other scrapping videos with me and my kids actually scrapping HVAC units. So in the meantime, please like this content, drop me a comment in the comment section below, and please also subscribe to my channel. Remember, as always, challenge to build. My name is Paul Michael. I'll see you in the next video.